Welcome to another episode of the Sisters Podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This episode, we got a good friend of mine's, none other than Miss Claire Dew. Claire, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, baby. Not I'm good. Hi. How are you?
Listen. For those of you who do not know Claire, how she just introduced herself is exactly how this is Claire. She is not faking it. This is how she comes, right and ready. Claire, what is up? How is it going over there in California? How is the weather?
It's actually raining right now,
Oh,
which
sorry.
I love when it rains in California.
Okay.
It's nasty on the streets. So it's
We
just
like
like
a little calm,
a nice
collected,
clean,
chill.
a nice little
Okay.
wash down.
Hey, nice. God knows when the rain needs to come, so there you go.
And yeah, for
There you
sure.
go. Well, for those of you who do not know, Claire is a girl. She got her own company. Okay, she got her own, media studio over there. But before we get there, we got to see how we got to start from the front and make our way up to now. So, let me ask you this. I know you have sisters, but I don't know how many sisters you have. So, how many sisters do you have?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so altogether there's five of us. So I have Jennifer, Stephanie, and Elizabeth, and then I have a stepsister named Lindsay. So
Okay.
yeah, there's five of us.
And where do you fall in line?
I'm literally the second to last. So
Oh, you the baby. You almost the baby.
um yes, but my sisters would argue and say I am a baby, but it's I like it. A little pushing where I need to be.
I thought you were one of five, but I wasn't completely sure. So that's one of our similarities. Let's talk a little bit about that. How was it for you growing up in a house of five?
Honestly, I am so glad that I grew up with sisters.
Mhm.
I honestly say it's a blessing in disguise and a blessing in everyone's face because like this is gonna sound really crazy, but when you wear an outfit, you can relate to this when you're in school and you about to go out and you're getting really, fresh to death and you feeling really good and you're like, oh my God, I look good. And then you go to one of your homegirls, but something about your outfit is maybe feeling a little bit off, and then your girl's like, oh, that's so good. You look good. You look good. And then you take a picture and you're feeling yourself all night, and then one of your sisters sees the picture and is like, what the hell were you thinking? Like, what the hell are you thinking? That's one reason why I'm so glad I had sisters, because they will
They gotta keep it real.
is
They gotta keep
100%.
it real.
They
Mhm.
keep you humble. They humble you.
Yes.
Humble that ass down. So love my sisters. Shout out to my sisters.
I don't see your sisters. Hey, you know what's another thing about sisters that a lot of people don't understand or like, well, your sisters will make fun of the stuff that you've been through, so you don't have to cry about it. And even
I,
if you cry about it, they're gonna make fun of it.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
gonna remind you of where you've been, but it's in a joking, it's all love manner. Like, oh, we can laugh about it now, but that still be like, let's not do that.
Some of it is not joking. Some of it is targeted. You know how sisters be. Some of it is targeted. They look at you and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna make sure this one stings a little bit." And you think about it, it sticks with you. But again, like, no, you're right. Like sometimes when your sisters make fun of you at home, they make fun of you about that thing over and over and over again. And then you get outside and somebody tries to use that on you. It's like, wait, this is like moo moo, like soft compared to what I was hearing at home. So 100%. I love my sisters. They're a lot, but I love my sisters. They're my sisters.
That's girls for you. You know, it's okay. We are allowed. It's all right. We're allowed to say that. We're girls. It's fine. How
We're
old is the
good.
oldest?
You see what happened?
How old is the oldest?
My oldest sister, which is my stepsister, she is almost 45, I want to say. So yeah, and then my younger sister just turned 26. So she turned 27 this year, which is insane. But
Yes.
life, we're all hot. So that's like the other, that's the only cherry on top. I like love my sisters because they're like also so pretty. So I always have something to look at, clothes to see on other people to steal later. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
listen, I call my sisters before like every game. or like when I'm in the mirror putting on my outfits, like, all right, which shoes, all right, which top, like, should I take this off? And it's funny because they be sick of me. They got to the point they be like, you better not change that outfit. You don't overthink it. Like you're fine. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep it if y'all, because they're gonna keep it real. They're gonna tell us to take it off or to change that if they don't like that. Like they're not holding back for anything.
Do they give you the advice on the Instagram photos? It's
Oh
like,
my gosh, yes,
no,
yes.
post that photo, post this one. It's like, oh, but I like this photo. It's like, nope, don't post this photo, post this one.
Mhm.
So I
Be
get
like, we
that.
have to do both, and they'll be like, no, just do one. I'm like, all right, fine.
It's sisters, always sisters. I'm sorry. I
If
can't.
that's embedded in your head, it means it's embedded in others' head, and I love that because that is such a great song. It's
It
such
is
a
a great song.
it is such a great album. And so you are in Cali now, but you're from Boston. Talk a little bit about that. How was
Oh
your
yeah. So first off, I have to shout out where my roots are from. I'm Nigerian on top
Okay?
of
Yep.
everything I do. Okay. So my mom's obviously first generation that came out here. Well, I'm first generation. My mom is the first generation immigrant to come out here. Did I say that right?
You said it
Right?
right. Your mom's
Okay.
your mom was born in Nigeria.
Yes. So I'm first generation here. So basically growing up in Boston was honestly it was a vibe. Like, I know other people might make fun of the way I talk or the way we do certain things in Massachusetts, but at the end of the day, I really enjoyed growing up in Boston. Like there was just a lot of history. Education's a really big thing there. So it was perfect for the Nigerian culture. It was perfect. Like you're either going to become a doctor, a lawyer, or some type of businessman. And definitely being in that setting in Boston was chef's kiss. So I wouldn't trade it for the world. I honestly enjoy the snow. I
I
love
like
it.
Boston. I really do. I started to explore more after I was in Franklin Pierce and Diamond and a whole bunch of you guys being from the Massachusetts area. So it was like getting to see that's like this is a vibe. It's very vibey. It's like I feel like it's better than New York City because it's less populated. It has
Mm.
about the same type of deal, like,
If you know the right people.
if you know the right people and you know the right places.
Right.
But I do like Boston, so shout
I
out
love upgrading. We gotta go sometime because girl, I know the right places. But the city of champions, I love Boston. I love
to
it.
everybody say like they're from not everybody, but people who say they're from Boston, like they might not actually be from Boston, but it's like around it. So like what part are you actually from?
So I grew up in Revere.
Okay.
So Revere was where I grew up. Peter Wu's is where I got Chinese food every Friday night with my mom. You know, my mom was a single mom. So like Revere was just the place to be. We'd be on our bikes going around. The town is like really small. So we lived right in the middle. Like I could ride my bike to Revere Beach or to like Beachmont, which is where the train station was at. Or I could ride my bike to like which was basically like the center of town, which is town hall or city hall rather. And my like elementary school was there. So I grew up in Revere. And then when I was in high school, I got kicked out of a lot of school because I was bad. But I won't talk about that. But you know, it was a challenging youth growing, trying to explore myself, and people just didn't understand who I was or just like what I was, like what just like I was just I'm just myself, you know what I mean? So I would just come in and just be myself, and people were like, what the is wrong with that girl? Like
And I'm
she's
so glad you kept that F word in.
I bleeped it. Did I keep it in? Did I
Yeah,
bleep the
you
wrong
believe
word?
yeah, he
I
said
bleeped the wrong. That tells you who I am.
I cannot with you. Oh
I'm
my God.
sorry, I
No,
forgot.
it's fine. This is you. Like you don't be sorry. Like
This is
you
just what it's
and
true.
like what you were saying, like you were confident, you're like you're just your personality is like it bounces off of you. So there's a lot of people that probably had a problem with that. But it's
Thank
okay.
you. Thank
Listen, we still here, we made it, we got to where we need to be. So that's all that matters. So
you.
for those of you who do not know, me and Claire went to Franklin Pierce together. We were staying to stay in the studies. mass communications, media production, all that. We was in the J lab till about 1 a.m. in the morning getting stuff done. So that's where we connected, and we made a lot of good things. We did a lot of good things at FPU.
Did. We did. We definitely added a lot of color to that school. Um, that part.
Yeah, we
Franklin
did.
Franklin Pierce was a time. Like literally, I feel like the people that went to Franklin Pierce and actually graduated from Franklin Pierce, not just like went for a year and then transferred because that happened literally every other second. But the people that actually stayed at Franklin Pierce, I have a special respect for them because the school was in the middle of nowhere.
Not a thing.
You had to make your own fun. So like those Lakeview parties, the Sawmill parties that we got cracking. Well, I'm a little bit of a legend. I'm a little bit of a
Yo,
legend. I heard Sawmills pops off now. So I put Sawmills on the map, and the rest of the people in Sawmills that allowed me to do what I need to do to put Sawmills on the map
there you go.
ever in the history book because now it's on the map.
You are crazy. Oh my gosh. Listen, Claire is Claire. As you can see, she's got to keep it blunt. She got to tell you what it is, but don't let her fool you because she's about her business and she's about her paper. And she took care of herself at Franklin Pierce and she graduated with her degree and went on to doing some really amazing things. So, we can talk a little bit about Do Media because I love the fact that you incorporated your name into your company because your last name is just so like you can do anything with it. And just like your skin products and stuff like that, which we'll touch on as well. But talk a little bit about what inspired you to start your own media production company.
Oh my gosh. It honestly came from all the no's I got. Every single no I got. Um, I'm really good at my job. I love media. Media has been something that I've always been like interested in. When I was a kid, I used to make like slideshows for my mom's like ministry groups for her women's group that she had. And I put together slideshows for their just, the church presentation or their worship team just to have the lyrics on the screen. So media was something I was always interested in, whether it was building graphics or it was building little pretend shows that I would film and cut up and put onto YouTube. Like I was into that. And when I got into college and realized like I wasn't going to go to school for law, I changed my major last minute and literally my parents almost killed me, but that's another story for another day. But basically when I went to school, and I got into media, I was like, no, this is it. Like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be doing this. And I couldn't pick one track. Like, people were doing journalism, people were doing media studies, people were doing media production. People even had like PR as a minor. And I was like, I love all of this. I want to do all of it. And they were like, that's going to be really tough. I mean, you technically can, but you're going to have to overload some of your courses. And I did. There were times where I was taking like 8 classes. People would think she's just taking regular, like, the regular course load. And I'm taking 8 classes, extra classes online so that I can get extra degree, like extra minors, extra degrees quietly. Because I loved media so much. So when I got into the actual working world, I had all this knowledge, but obviously, you have to grow. It takes time, it takes experience. Shout out to the Franklin Pierce alums because I ended up getting a job outside of school literally like a month after I graduated. And it was a little Kmart commercial. And it wasn't anything crazy, but I loved it. I learned so much from it. And I learned in that moment, like, okay, one, this is what I want to do. Two, I definitely choose to be in this field. As crazy as this set is, I love it. And three, like, how can I continue doing this and make this like a thing? Because you always hear people moving out to Cali, you hear people chasing their dreams and blah, 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 blah. And then they move back home. They don't do it, something happened, the environment is too much, they can't find a job. And I had literally set those 3 things in my mind, like, I'm going to be out here and I'm going to do it. Like, I love this too much to let it go. And I moved up the ranks. I was actually killing it. Like, I went from being a production assistant to a producer's assistant to actually being an AP, being a coordinator, production manager, line producer, like being a producer. Like I went everywhere. I did everything. I said yes to everything. And then every time I wanted to go that extra step and move up, it was always like, no. I was like just a straight up like, no, you're really good in this position. Can you hear me, Britt?
It's okay, you're good.
See, they be acting up. But shout out Coco. Shout out. Shout out
That's
Coco and
okay.
Frosty. They're literally they're turning up right now.
Oh my God.
Guys, come on. They want to see you. That's why. They can hear you.
I believe it.
Whatever. I put on Little Kim and then they're good. But anyway, they love Junior Mafia. I'm telling you, they love it. Um,
Oh.
but I got so many no's, and it was always like someone else is better.
Yeah.
Someone else is in the position. Someone else is gonna take it. It was always, and I don't mean to make it sound like this, but it was always someone that was not of color, that was ahead of me, that was above me, that was supervising me, making sure I was doing the right thing. And it was me putting in all this overtime, all this extra work. At one point in the industry, all the no's that I was getting, just trying to move up, and really make a name for myself in some of these bigger studios. It kind of just made me just, I almost lost hope. I was like, okay, you know what, whatever, just be satisfied. Like, you're working this big job, who cares? You're around all these famous people. People think that you're living the dream, whatever. Technically, you're making money. You can afford to go on vacation and buy yourself a nice bag. You own your, you know what I'm saying? Like, these were the things that I was telling myself, just get comfortable with it. Like, you're around some of the greatest people in the world, but you won't ever be that Ava DuVernay. You won't ever be that Shonda Rhimes. You won't ever be this person that breaks this record, or a Michaela Cole that goes in and says, oh, nope, I'm not working with Netflix. I'm going to like, this is what I was starting to tell myself, like, no, you're not going to be the next Issa Rae. Like, just let it go. And then I remember one of my homegirls was like going through, I don't even know how she found it, but she found that PSA we did at Franklin Pierce that won us an Emmy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
So she found
It's
that
on us.
PSA. It's on us, that sexual assault PSA. So she sees this PSA. She looks at me and she goes, you directed this? I go, yeah, it's so bad. But I won a student Emmy from it, from this project. And someone stole my Emmy when I first moved to Los Angeles. They stole my package and stole the Emmy. So I never actually got to hold it, see it, nothing. Someone stole that whole thing. And I told her about it, and she's like, you're really talented. And then spawns off in this whole thing, just giving me my flowers and just telling me how she sees me in these spaces. Like, I was a production manager for Ellen DeGeneres on the Warner Brothers lot for Telepictures. And like, I was one of 3 Black production managers that ever really worked at Ellen. Like, I didn't really put that into my brain. I just was like, whatever, I'm just making money and I'm coming here and I'm doing this job for Ellen, and it's what it is what it is. And people are like, wait, what? Like, what? And I didn't really believe in myself. And it sounds so crazy because I let people kind of just talk me out of my own light. So when she did see that It's On Us campaign, and I was like, this is so bad. And I had done a pilot when I was a PA, and she saw that pilot. She was like, why don't you make more stuff? Why don't you write more content? Why don't you go out and do this stuff? And I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. Like, who's going to trust me? Like, I have to literally reach out to people for work. Like, hey, I just wrapped on this gig. Do you have, or do you know? And that's all the nature of this game is. And then when she told me that, I thought to myself, like, you know what? You did want to be the next Steven Spielberg. You did want to take over and be the next Walt Disney. Where did these dreams go? You just became content. So when she told me this, and I really started to sit with it and like wrestle with the idea, I thought to myself, like, yeah, what the hell am I doing? Dimming my own light. Like, what am I doing? Just getting comfortable because someone's paying me and I can afford to go to like Spain and have a good time and party and blah 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 blah. But my trip is quite cut short because I have to go back and rush back for somebody else's dream. So once I started actually starting to let my once I started allowing myself to be delusional in my own fantasy and dreams again, that's when I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go for it. And I reached out to a bunch of friends. Some people said yes to working with me, and I didn't have any money to pay these people. Like some people were like, "Yeah, I'll give you my Saturday. I'll give you an hour of my Saturday. I'll give you my free time on the weekdays when I have the time." And some people said no. Some people told me I was crazy. Some people told me that my work was crap. Some people told me that I, I'm just I should just be lucky where I am and happy that I'm able to be a production manager for such a big studio. Like I should just be happy with that. And no, it was a straight up no for me, dog. After I had heard all the flowers and really put back my brain back into perspective, and honestly, once I started talking to God, again and really diving into my faith again, it was like a sure move. And then I just took a chance on myself. I put something out there, and Diplo, shout out to Mad Decent and Aluna. They believed in my production company. They believed in our director, Wendy Nagala. They believed in our homeboy, Vlad, who was also our business partner at the time, V Live. So when they gave us that first, music video, I think it was like 50K. And I was like, oh my God. Like I just got a $50,000 music video like budget. And that was just that was just the beginning. That one video literally went from shooting a Luna and MK doing a dance hall, not even dance hall, but like house music, like dance house music. Went from doing that to like shooting a pilot for Naeem, Lynn, and Kevin Hart and like the Plastic Cup Boys, and shooting stuff for like Yara Shahidi and like JCE and like things like that. Just, you
Heavy.
know, it just took one person, took God using one person to literally slap me back into reality. Like, you're not supposed to be working on somebody else's dream. Like, I literally moved you out of the realm that you thought you were going into. I literally thought I was going to become a lawyer, and moved me into this realm of communications, made me go through all the trials and tribulations and the no's and the 17-hour days and the running around and getting people coffee and moving dead rats like on set. Like I went through all of that just so honestly I feel like one, to be humbled so that I can appreciate the experience I'm in or the spot that I'm in right now. But two, so that when I did get to this spot, that I wasn't someone who shut down other people's dreams, because on set, I literally gave up on myself. I literally gave up on my dreams because of what other people were saying to me, because of what I was seeing. So now when I have my own, bread and stake in this wild media industry, one thing I make sure is that every single person, whether they're my equal, another EP on a project, or my legit production assistant runner. Like we open the doors for them to be delusional and flourish their dreams. And I tell them, like, you're not going to be here forever. If you come up with an idea, write a play, and we pay you enough money to go and shoot it on your own, and you need help or you have questions, I'm not a gatekeeper. So that's where my production company came from. And that's really what and why I got into it because of my nose.
Oh yeah, no, there's a lot to dissect from that. I think what I admire about you is you didn't let what other people said about you affect you from getting to where you need to be. And obviously you said that you almost quit because let's be real, like sometimes it's hard. Like when you're hearing no all the time, when you're feeling unappreciated, when you're feeling like, someone is crushing your dreams, hearing the negative aspect of it, it tears you down. So let's just keep it a buck. It does tear you down, but like you
It
said,
does.
use that woman to speak life into you. And sometimes all it takes is one person. Sometimes
One.
all it takes is one person, but also the fact that you tapped into your faith instead of running away from God, because a lot of people will blame God for them not getting to where they need to be instead of putting the work in it and continuing to pray that He will answer those prayers for you. Because
Right.
without works is dead. So if
Right.
you're not tapping into your faith and you're not trusting and believing that God will take you from point A to point B, He's not going to take you there.
He's not. Yeah.
I'm so happy to hear that you didn't let someone dim your light to the point where it was turned off.
It was
You
almost out.
listen, the bulb was flickering.
It was there. It was
The bulb
almost out.
was
I was
flickering.
like,
We hit that switch, we changed that light bulb, we changed our mind, and we got to it. So good.
yes, yes.
There. Congratulations. There's not a lot of people out here that can say that they have their own media production. And I know you're flaunting and stuff, but that's just your nerves, okay, people?
I know it is.
She's
I
not
hate
that
these
cocky, but
compliments.
she is like very and like here's your flowers, so keep going. And let me ask you this, like where is the studio? Like where can people see your work? Because
Yeah.
like a lot of people don't even know that you have your own media studio. So tell the people a little bit about
So I'd be hiding, to be honest with you, but you have probably already seen my work to
I
just be
have
more.
I have seen your work, but I'm talking about the other people that are watching this podcast.
No, I know, I know, I know. I'm just saying I'd be hiding in plain sight. So if you have Roku, if you're on any streaming platform services or one of those Fire Sticks or whatever, if you have Peacock, you can watch some of the documentaries I've done with Stephen Curry and Universal MSNBC. I did a documentary last year for Juneteenth. It was a really great documentary just talking about Black joy, Black pride, just different Black things that show our whole culture in a nutshell, but shows it in such a beautiful way that allows us to tell the story. So it was everything Black. So if you love that, please go over to Peacock or and you can watch that. Um, a couple of my different shows are also on Netflix. I mean, a couple of them are coming out this year, but you literally can watch anything that I do. I wasn't prepared for this question, Jazz. So I wasn't prepared to like
You,
list
you you
out.
were you were just talking, and I just wanted to ask. But let me tell like where is the studio? The studio is in Cali. What part of Cali are you in?
So I'm in LA. So basically, we are based out of Los Angeles and we're based out of Boston. So it's not a physical studio. We have multiple studio houses that we work out of. But for the most part, we have a whole set of DPs, directors, producers, a lot of Emmy-winning producers on the team, and directors, honestly. So we literally shoot everywhere. We get projects in London, we get projects in Los Angeles, we get projects in Boston. So we're really everywhere. We are really a nomadic
Sorry,
team.
I just threw this question in, but I just had to ask. It, it
It's
was it was
not.
heat of the moment. It's okay.
I mean, I can tell you where to watch my stuff. You can go on YouTube and watch any of the videos we've done. You can go to domediaproductions.com and check out some of the links that are on there as well. We're in the Afrobeat sphere, we're in the
Okay.
dance music sphere, we're in the TV space, we're in the cinema space. So really anywhere you stream or get television, YouTube, you can watch anything that we do. It's
Let me
all
ask
there.
you this. What is your proudest wow moment like you've had so far in this process?
I think it was when I shot. Wow. I've shot with a lot of people now that I think about it, but I think it was probably I'll do last year, 3 moments last year that were really like, whoa.
That's
Um, I think the first whoa moment was when I got invited to go see Kevin Hart's stand-ups like special in Vegas after doing his pilot with Naeem Lynn. And I went to go see Naeem because I mean the show was for Naeem, but we got invited to go see his show in Vegas and it was his birthday. And I remember just thinking to myself, like, like, what the heck is going on? Like, you're at this venue in this like VIP space you're from Boston. Like you not like my mind, I'm not thinking anything of this. I mean, we have the Boston Celtics and the Bruins and stuff, but I mean, we're so nonchalant in Boston. It's like girls walking around in Uggs and like sweatpants and
Right.
you know what I mean? So like I think that was the first time I realized like, okay, wait, wow, like you actually know these people. Like you actually know these people. And I was like, I never thought I would get to the point to be like, wow, you know these people. Like you're not sitting general admission. You're not begging to get to a show, like you're being invited. So I think that was the first time I realized that, okay, wow, you've come really far in your career where like these are your peers, like these people know you. Um, and I thought it's just kind of surreal because then you're seeing them on TV and now you're seeing them in real life, but then they're actually like communicating with you in real life because you work with them in real life. So it's like, whoa. So I think the moment in that, sorry, I just went around the world, but I think the moment in that for me that made it really crazy was when I was sitting next to Don Cheadley and Don's having a conversation with us about the freaking shrimp and some piece of food. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, I can't even
Process this right now.
right. And I'm like, okay, Kevin's over there, Kevin Hart's Kevin Hart, and then Naeem's over there, and Naeem is Naeem, but it's like, now I'm sitting in front of comedy royalty. Like this was insane to me. So that was really cool. I think another moment that was really cool for me was being in front of just my peers and having them just embrace me. Like last year, a lot of my peers, I got to see them at Advertising Week. It was a show that we sold. So I think this was another wow moment for me. I was able to put my people on. Like I put my people on all the time, but this was a way where I got to not only work with, I don't know if you're familiar with Group Black, but Group Black is an organization that works with a bunch of Black creatives and they help fund projects and bring them to life. Shout out to Bonin. And they bought three of my shows. I had pitched one show, just like I had pitched three shows thinking like one would get sold. Like, okay, let's shoot for three, and maybe one on a great day, two will get chosen. Like they'll say, okay, let's program two and call it a day. And I pitched all three, and they were like, okay, we'll take them. And I was like, okay, so like which one? Like, do you want Renaissance Woman? Do you want the Evolving Human? Like, do you want the spoken word? Like, which one do you want? They're like, we'll take all three. Can you do all 3 days? Like there were actual four shoot like days or four conference days, but yeah, they they paid for our shows, and I was just kind of like sitting there like, what is happening right now? And they were like, yeah, we'll take all three. This is when we have you guys fly in. When are your hosts coming in? And I was like, okay, I'm literally not EPing one show. I'm EPing three. Like, this is insane. And then I remember someone, I forget who it was, but this woman was telling me like, oh, next year you got to make sure to tell the press so they can write something on your programs and your company and stuff like that. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I'm just glad that God got me here. I was like, I'm just glad these shows got sold. Like, I'm just happy that this is happening. And literally, I think it was like 2 a.m. in the morning. I got a text message for one of my EPs, and she was like, Bish, did you see this? And I was like, see what? And they had used a picture of Issa Rae because she happened to be at the conference talking about Hooray and her wine and Barbie and all that stuff. And they had used a picture of Issa Rae as clickbait, and they had used the dude Jonathan's name from Queer Eye as clickbait for this article that was posted by All Media and literally talked about only the productions that I had done. And this woman, hours prior, had been like, oh, well, next year make sure to reach out to people so that they can write an article on your thing. And here these people came, never even talked to them, didn't even know if I was talking to them or not, wrote up a whole article. There were multiple articles that came out on our programs and projects. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I'm actually doing I'm actually doing it. But that was another wow moment. And then the last one is really small, but it was just literally staying in touch or reconnecting with people that have always been in my corner. Like people that I was meant to be around, people that I may have lost touch with that have,
Right.
resurfaced. But like you, like I see you, I see what you're doing. I may not talk to you every day, but like just having you come back into the fold and be like, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is my project. Like I have never been more proud of the circle of people I've been around in my life because people are always talking about the circle of friends you have. They really show what type of person you are. And if your friends are all bums,
Yo, please, Claire.
if your friends are all bums, then you saw that. You see, I was God saying, let the sirens go off, honey, because at the end of the day, if your homies are just kicking it, talking about this is what I hate and this is what I can do better than so 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 and this is what I can do and da 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 da, and then they're not doing anything.
Sometimes you are who you hang around with. So I
Exactly.
hear what you're saying. And
Right.
some of the cases are not like that, but sometimes you are who you hang around with. So I hear what you're saying.
You said some of the cases are not like that. Let me tell you something. If you tie yourself to a dead man and think that you're gonna climb up the hill, you're gonna die before you get up that hill, girl. Tying yourself to dead weight is only gonna slowly kill you. So it may not be impacting you right now, but it's impacting you in more ways than you actually think. And that's why I say this year particularly, I am so taken aback by the group of people I have been around, the tribe that I actually chose to be around. I know I just went on a rant. You can cut that out, but
That's your tea and your iced coffee. I can't. Oh
yeah.
my gosh. So not only do you have a media company, you also have a skin product called Claire Skin, which also has your name incorporated into it, which is very unique. So let's talk a little bit about Claire Skin, when your products are launching, and how did it even start?
Okay, so Claire's skin came from literally me just having really bad eczema as a kid. So my mom would buy me these Nigerian net sponges. I remember growing up, I would have a bunch of them, a bunch of different colors. People would always just be like, what is that? It's basically a deconstructed loofah, like sponge. But it's a lot more, the texture is a lot more rich. So it actually really cleans your skin and it's a recyclable material. So I remember my mom was just asking me what I wanted to do for my 29th birthday. And I usually travel. So I was like, "Ugh, I want to go somewhere and see the world." And then I don't know, something in me was just like, no, do something that's more impactful. Like you can always travel. You can't always travel. But in my head, I was telling myself, like, you can always come back and do this. You've done enough. Like, do something impactful that will diversify your portfolio. So my mom has an organization called Lunch for Kids Africa, which is a really wonderful program that goes to cities and different schools in the Nigerian community in Nigeria, and they give them lunches so that these kids won't skip school and go work to get a meal, but if they go to school and get an education, we'll give them a meal. And I'm a big girl, so they do not drink no water and eat no just regular white rice and stew. No, we go get a full cow. I make sure they have every access to like Fanta, Coca-Cola, Capri Sun. I don't know if that's how Americans say it, but they say Capri Sun. I don't care. That's how I say it. So they have, all the fixings. They have meat, chicken, beef, stew, whatever they want to eat, meat pie. And then we give them dessert, and then we give them stuff to take home too, so that they can go home and bless their families as well. But I just thought that was a really powerful thing. And my mom's organization, I think, is coming up on the 19th,
Mhm.
17th year. So I wanted to do something in tandem with that, but I didn't want to do the whole, nonprofit situation. So we soft launched last year. It was really cool. This year I'm going to Korea and we're getting some serums. So hopefully by this coming September 2024, we'll have a lot of great new clear skin serums that will also be great on your loofah sponge. So, and every single purchase literally gives $3 back to the organization. So it's a vibe. And
That's awesome. You out here, listen, you out here getting it done. I really do appreciate that about you.
you
You
know, shut the fuck up,
are
Claire.
so blunt, and you're gonna come out and say so many crazy things. You're really out here giving back to the people. And I think that's what like one of the things that you've said was your wow moment is you putting your people on. I know you said a lot of other great things and you worked with Kevin Hart and all these amazing other people, but putting your people on and giving back to your community and going back to your roots and not forgetting where you came from. Like that is a big part of success and growth. And I admire you. So I'm very, very, very proud of you, Claire. And
Shut
that's the beginning. This is just
Making me sweaty.
you know, you know,
Made me sweaty.
yeah, I got one last question for you before we go. So obviously there's a lot of women in the media, and there are a lot of women who are trying to get in the media, and they're trying to, just start their process in this field. What advice would you give to them?
Your no is your biggest yes.
Mhm.
Your no is literally your biggest yes. I know people take no as a death sentence, and sometimes people need to hear the no because in that moment, that's not necessarily really no, because no can always be persuaded to a maybe, and then a maybe can always become a yes. But sometimes that's God literally telling you to stop. Stop, be still. The way you're trying to do it right now, it's not going to work this way. And sometimes you hearing no, it's a humbling experience.
Right.
If you heard yes all the time, there would be nothing for you to work at. There'd be nothing for you to grow at. There'd be nothing for you to strive for. There would literally be nothing for you to like, level up. There would be nothing there for you to set yourself on a springboard and just catapult up to where you need to be. So when you get those no's, when you fail, those are probably the twoest, as I said, the twoest, those are probably the two biggest things that lead you to your success. The failures that you literally stumble upon, fall into, fall around, they back me up. They back me
Facts, facts. They over there snapping.
up. Problem. Frosty's annoying. But anyways, those failures, failing in to some of those situations, failing around those situations, literally failing at the situation, being on a failing team, those things, as crappy as they are when you're going through it, that is literally the foundation and the building block to your next step. If you don't learn from that failure and you make another step without learning from that failure, you're going to fail again.
You're going to go through that same mistake, that same situation, that same problem all over again. You gotta learn from it.
So you get those failures, you get those no's that humble you, take it in. Someone just told you no today. All right. Thank you for telling me no. I appreciate it. Let me keep it pushing. Let me figure out how to change what I have, make it better, go back and look at what I actually have with a critical eye, not as a, I'm taking this personally, but taking it personally to yourself. Like, okay, I have a duty to myself to make this even better. Go back and actually really look at it. The next time you hear that yes will actually mean so much more more to you than just getting the yes off the bat. And it also adds that real life experience. A bishop once said to me, not to me personally, but to a congregation of people that were in a church that I go to, he said that God will put you through trials just so that he can build your faith.
Mm.
And I never really thought of it like that. You just always wonder why things are happening to you. Why did I get that no? Why did I fail here? But when you just also take yourself out of the equation and you look at what you have in front of you and you just say to yourself, you know what? All right. I may not be the best person right now for this job. I may have gotten this no. I may have not done this the greatest way I need to do it, but you know what? I have faith that God brought me here so I can see this, so that whatever he's showing me in this moment is going to be the foundation and the springboard for me to be the success that he's already shown me in the visions he's given me, or it's going to bring me to the success that he's already prepared for me. There's always something in those crappy moments that when you get to the silver lining, or you get to the light at the end of the tunnel and you see something or something happens, it always triggers that memory of, man, remember when I was failing? Remember
That
when
aha moment. That
that's exactly what it is.
ah,
Like,
okay, I see it now.
now I understand why I had to wait. And so I would literally say that no is that's your biggest motivation right there. Somebody tell you no, and you have a living God, and you know that you're good at what you're doing, and you know that you believe in your idea and you're passionate about it, take that no, but use that no as a fueler. Don't sit on it, talk about what that person should have and could have and what they can go and do and stick it and blah, 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 blah. Take that no, humble yourself respectfully, and keep it pushing. You fail again and you get another no, humble yourself again, figure it out, pick yourself up, and do it respectfully, because I cannot tell you how many times I've heard no. I cannot tell you how many times people have passed on me. I cannot tell you how many times I have literally gone into a production, a shoot, a music video, a meeting, unprepared or prepared, and still shit the bed. Like, I don't know how many times that has happened to me. I don't know how many times. I can't even count. And every single time, I just learned to just, all right. Before, I used to cuss people out. I used to ride or die for my name. Oh no, you could not play with me. You told me no? Well, F your mother, F your kids, F your daddy. It was, I would come after everybody. Everybody was getting it. Screw that production. I don't want to work with them anyways. And it was like, you're so hurt that you can't even see, like, it ain't personal. It's just your stuff is a no for them right now. And
Sweet.
then,
Go out there and find your other opportunity. Go out there and start your own company. Go out there and prove people wrong. Like,
now I'm not saying just go start a company because you get no's all the time. The thing is, I had to actually put in the work,
no, no,
right?
no. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not dimming
I'm
your.
just saying,
All right, right.
I had to go do the work. I was getting no's because I honestly believe that there are a lot of gatekeepers. There are gatekeepers everywhere. There are gatekeepers everywhere. There are some people that are going to see you killing it, and they're going to know you're killing it. They're going to be like, wow, this person is different. This person is something special. And there's some people that will help you nurture that. They'll look at you and they'll literally want to be in your corner. They'll be like, I need to be on this bandwagon. I need to be on this train with this person. This person's going somewhere and I want to go somewhere with them. And then there are going to be some people that see you and think to themselves, well, I should be where they are. I've been here. They just got here,
Mhm.
and then they gatekeep you. And what I mean by gatekeeping you, they might do it where you gotta pray for wisdom. They might do it where they come up to you kind of like a snake in your grass and be your friend, make it seem like they're helping you, grow and shape you and mold you. They'll call you sis, little sis. You remind me of me. As soon as someone says you remind me of a younger version of me, and they ain't ever achieved nothing that you've been touching so far, run. Run! Run, Jack! Run! Because as soon as they start saying, oh, you remind me of me when I was younger, and then you're thinking to yourself, okay, so if I remind you of you, why aren't you the head of Disney right now? If I remind you of you, why don't you have a company in the works right now? You're still working for someone. Some people will see where you are and nope, you're not supposed to be there. So they'll do anything in their power to keep you down. It might be the words that they say. It might be that they are never happy for you. It might be that they tell you all this crap.
Yep.
They feed into these delusions. They don't feed you with encouraging words. Their words are always like, those are the people you gotta run from. Because they'll gatekeep you and they'll keep you down. Told you, cannot tie yourself to a dead man. Because those people, once their dreams died, they were dragging me down with them. Oh, Claire, you're not gonna sell nothing. You're too young. Girl, nobody wanna buy nothing with Black people. Girl, we don't have that. Folks like us don't get that type of money. This is what people were telling me. You're not going to ever make that. Oh, why would you ever go and shoot that? I watched the beginning of your pilot and it made me fall asleep after 5 minutes. I said, damn, I didn't know my work was that bad. That's why I went in thinking like, okay, maybe like 1 out of the 3 will sell. At least one. This is why I was saying 1. God was telling me, girl, I gave you 3. I didn't give you just 1. I gave you 3. So when all 3 of them sold, and then you have this person that planted the seed that came out of nowhere and planted a seed of just like prosperity, joy, movement, growth, wisdom, inspiration, love. You see this random person just doing that out of the kindness of their heart, not even really thinking about it. It's different.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Tell me something.
Now you know. My God's gonna get it done every time.
Every time. Every time.
And I'm so glad that I was brought up in the church and my faith is strong, because when the doctor says no, when the teacher says no, when your boss says no, when so many other people says no,
give us the word. Yes, come on.
So we know where our help comes from. We know where our strength comes from, and we know that at the end of the day, He's gonna take care of us if we are faithful and trusting in Him. So, 100%. Claire,
yeah,
so proud of you. Continue to shine. Continue to, spread your wings. Continue to be a brighter light bulb, and never let anybody else dim your light, no matter what comes your way. Like I said, I'm so proud of you, and I'm so glad that you were able to come on my episode.
Jazz.
Share your story.
Jazz. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. First off, I'm gonna give you your flowers, because a lot of people come to me and ask me if I can help them with stuff. A lot of people ask me if I can help them do things or be on their show or whatever, pull up for them. And I pull up for them, and they ain't never prepared. And that's the first and last. You got one time. You got one time for me to come outside my house. You want me to waste my makeup? This is $6.75 worth of eyeliner. No, I'm kidding. No, but seriously, Jazz, like, you're really professional. The way you're handling this podcast, the way you're literally going after your dream. You're telling me you're proud of me, Vish. You need to be giving yourself several pats on the back, because I know people that say it all the time, but there's a difference in doing. I know that's my last name, but there really is a difference between doers and talkers. And you are somebody that talked about it and then you did it. There are people that just talk about it to talk about it. You're doing it. So
I appreciate you.
Today it's on a Zoom call. Tomorrow it's in a studio.
Facts. Hello. We getting there. Oh my gosh. My sisters, my brothers, everyone that is tuning in right now. I hope you got a good laugh. I hope you got some insight, but I hope you got a good laugh. Claire, thank you guys. Thank you so much. As always, I love you guys. I'm here for you guys, and I'll catch you next episode.